What happens inside a man's body when he reaches his 40s is something most doctors won't tell you directly, and what I'm about to reveal will challenge everything you thought you knew about masculine health and vitality. There's a secret that millions of men over 40 carry with them every single day, a private reality that shapes their physical well-being in ways they never imagined possible. This isn't about what you might expect from typical health advice. This goes deeper into the biological machinery that governs how men age, how they maintain their strength, and most importantly, how one simple daily habit can either protect or slowly destroy the most vulnerable part of their anatomy. The human body keeps score of every decision we make, and nowhere is this more evident than in the delicate walnut-sized gland that sits quietly beneath the bladder, working tirelessly to maintain functions that most men take for granted until something goes terribly wrong. What you're about to discover isn't just another health tip. It's a revelation that could fundamentally change how you understand your own body and the choices you make every single day. The silence surrounding this topic has created a dangerous gap in men's health knowledge, leaving countless individuals vulnerable to problems that could have been prevented with simple awareness and understanding. I've spent years studying the intricate relationship between daily habits and prostate health, and what I've uncovered will surprise you, concern you, and ultimately empower you to take control of your physical destiny in ways you never thought possible. But before we dive into the heart of this matter, I need to ask something important of you. If this information proves valuable, if it opens your eyes to truths you've never heard before, please take a moment to subscribe to this channel and hit that notification bell. Your subscription gives this channel the strength to continue bringing you insights that mainstream medicine often overlooks, and your like on this video helps ensure that more men receive this critical information. The algorithm rewards engagement, and your simple action could literally save someone's health and quality of life. Now let me share with you the 3 biological mechanisms that most men remain completely unaware of, mechanisms that are silently operating inside their bodies right now, influenced by choices they make in the privacy of their own homes. The first mechanism involves a hormone that most people have heard of, but few truly understand, dihydrotestosterone, known in medical circles as DHT. This powerful hormone maintains masculine characteristics throughout a man's life, but it also has a dark side that reveals itself with age. When a man reaches orgasm, his DHT levels temporarily drop, creating what researchers call a hormonal holiday for the prostate gland. This might sound technical, but imagine your prostate as a sponge that's been soaking in a powerful chemical solution. The temporary reduction in DHT gives this sponge a chance to wring out some of that accumulated intensity. However, and this is crucial, if ejaculation happens too frequently, the constant hormonal fluctuations can destabilize what doctors call the endocrine axis, essentially confusing your body's natural testosterone production system. This confusion becomes particularly dangerous as men approach andropause, the male equivalent of menopause that most men don't even know exists. The second mechanism involves something even more fascinating. The muscular contractions that occur during ejaculation don't just provide pleasure, they serve a critical biological function that directly impacts prostate health. These contractions work like a natural massage system, improving blood flow to the prostate, boosting cellular metabolism, and helping to cleanse the tissue of accumulated waste products. When blood circulation improves in the prostate, the tissue remains elastic and healthy, resisting the hardening and enlargement that plagues so many older men. But here's where it gets interesting. If the pelvic muscles are overstimulated without adequate recovery time, they can become fatigued and tense, leading to reduced urinary control and that uncomfortable heaviness that many men experience but rarely discuss with anyone. The third mechanism is perhaps the most important and least understood. The prostate houses its own immune system, constantly working to clear away dead cells, excess proteins, and biological waste. Under normal conditions, ejaculation helps expel some of this waste, reducing the risk of chronic low-level inflammation that can slowly damage the gland over years or decades. But when the body doesn't get enough recovery time between cycles, this immune response can become dysregulated, creating persistent irritation that manifests as that mysterious pelvic discomfort that sends men to doctors who often can't find an obvious cause on their tests and scans. These three mechanisms work together like a finely tuned orchestra, and when they fall out of harmony, the consequences can be severe and long-lasting. Let me tell you about David, a 65-year-old construction supervisor from Nevada who walked into my clinic carrying a burden that had been growing heavier for nearly 10 years. David had always been the picture of health, rarely sick, always energetic, but something had changed and he couldn't put his finger on what it was. He complained of waking up multiple times each night to urinate, never feeling like his bladder was completely empty, and experiencing a dull ache in his lower abdomen that seemed to have no cause. As we talked, I discovered something that shocked me. For almost a decade, David had completely eliminated all sexual activity from his life, including masturbation. After turning 55, he had convinced himself that such things were no longer appropriate for a man his age, that he should focus on more mature pursuits and leave those younger behaviors behind. The shame and embarrassment he felt about discussing this topic had kept him suffering in silence, believing that his symptoms were just an inevitable part of aging. When we performed a physical exam and prostate ultrasound, the results told a clear story. His prostate had enlarged beyond normal parameters, his PSA levels were elevated into the concerning range, and the gland tissue showed signs of inflammation and irregularity. David's prostate was literally crying out for attention, starved of the natural biological processes that keep it healthy and functioning properly. We developed a comprehensive plan that included dietary changes, increased water intake, targeted supplements, and most importantly, the gradual reintroduction of regular ejaculation, starting with once or twice per week based on how his body responded. The transformation was remarkable. Within 4 months, David's PSA levels had decreased, his nighttime urination improved dramatically, and that persistent abdominal discomfort nearly disappeared completely. But the most significant change wasn't physical, it was psychological. David regained his confidence, stopped avoiding conversations about health, and for the first time in years, he felt like himself again. His story illustrates a critical truth that millions of men need to understand. Neglecting your prostate isn't noble or mature, it's simply dangerous. The question that naturally arises is how often should a man ejaculate to maintain optimal prostate health without overdoing it? And the answer depends entirely on age and individual circumstances. For men between 40 and 49, 3 to 4 times per week is generally optimal, as hormone levels are still robust and recovery happens relatively quickly. Men from 50 to 59 should consider reducing frequency to 2 or 3 times per week, paying close attention to how their body responds and adjusting accordingly if fatigue or urinary symptoms develop. For men 60 and above, once per week is usually sufficient to maintain circulation, cleanse the gland, and keep biological rhythms functioning properly. If health and libido remain strong, twice weekly can be acceptable, but back-to-back sessions should be avoided to allow proper recovery time. The most important principle isn't hitting an exact number, it's maintaining consistency while respecting your body's natural recovery limits. This habit works best when combined with proper rest, balanced nutrition, regular exercise, and routine health checkups that keep your entire system synchronized and functioning optimally. What strikes me most about this topic isn't the medical complexity. It's the psychological barrier that prevents so many men from taking care of themselves properly. Masturbation after 50 isn't wrong, shameful, or something to hide. It's simply basic health maintenance, like brushing your teeth or exercising regularly. Social pressure and cultural judgment have created a conspiracy of silence that's literally killing men slowly, one ignored symptom at a time. I've met countless patients who knew something was wrong, but were too embarrassed to seek help, viewing solo sexual activity as somehow inappropriate for their age, strange, or unnecessary. But once they understood that this was simply part of maintaining their physical health, just like any other body system, everything changed and the improvements were dramatic and undeniable. Your prostate doesn't care about social conventions or cultural taboos. It only cares about receiving the biological signals it needs to stay healthy and functional throughout your lifetime. The choice is yours. You can continue following outdated social programming that ignores basic human biology, or you can take control of your health with knowledge, consistency, and the courage to do what's right for your body. This information isn't just another health tip to forget by tomorrow. It's a roadmap to maintaining vitality, comfort, and confidence as you age, ensuring that your later years are filled with energy and well-being rather than doctor visits and uncomfortable symptoms. The men who understand this truth and act on it consistently are the ones who age gracefully, maintaining their strength, confidence, and quality of life well into their golden years. Take care of your body now, because it's the only one you'll ever have, and it deserves your attention, respect, and consistent care every single day. Your future self will thank you for the courage to embrace this knowledge and the wisdom to act on it before it's too late.